Australia's first Indigenous ambassador, Damien Miller, flies out to his new post in Denmark tomorrow. Mr Miller has received congratulations from around the country since his appointment, but NITV News also asked him whether he has any qualms about representing Australia as an Indigenous man when so many of our people in communities live with disadvantage.
I know there are a lot of issues in the Indigenous community. There's so much disadvantage and things that we need to work on as a whole nation. But I think it's also important to focus on a lot of the positive things that are happening in our communities all across Australia. And I want to speak honestly and accurately about Indigenous Australia, to talk about our amazingly rich culture, our history, our politics, our stories. So I think it's just telling the whole story which is important, and that includes lots of positive things which are sometimes not picked up by the media at all. So in the two countries I'm going to, two of the three have Indigenous populations, so there'll be things to talk about, and I think there'll be strong interest in Indigenous Australia as well.
And what's next for you, Damien? Perhaps a career in politics?
No, probably not. I don't think so. I'm happy to be involved in the diplomatic service, and it's a career I chose many years ago. I wanted to be a diplomat since I was young, and I feel very privileged to be able to do it, and it's a wonderful world of opportunity. You can do lots of great things here in Australia, and there's also amazing opportunities overseas. So I think there's still a long way to go in my diplomatic career, and I'm very happy to continue pursuing it.
And do you want to be known as the first Indigenous ambassador, or are you proud just to be the Australian ambassador in Denmark?
There are many others who've come before me from the 1970s, 80s and 90s, many of whom I work for and I have a great respect for. I'm the first Indigenous ambassador, and I'm very proud of that fact, but it means I'm also not there to only represent Indigenous issues. I'm there to represent Australia's foreign and trade policy interests, and that's what my job is about, to promote all the good things that are happening in Australia, our economy, to talk about our education system, our multiculturalism. So it's part of my job is to promote Australia, contemporary modern Australia and what's happening, but also Australian governments have foreign and trade policy interests that we need to talk to other governments about, and that's what my job is, to explain Australian government policy, to also hear about what they have to say to us and to convey that back to the Australian government. And by doing that, we build stronger relationships between governments, and we also, over time, build stronger relations between two different peoples, and that's part of the role of an ambassador as well.